And the person that has it, it's very difficult that they realize something is happening, but sometimes they do. So sometimes they wonder something is happening, but it's not like all the time.
So the receiver, the dragon, may or may not be aware of what's happening in the process, is what you're saying.
Normally they are not aware of what's happening, but some of them realize something is happening, but they don't know what is happening.
So some of the niggas realize that they are being drained, and some don't realize that they're being drained. But let's be real, like after you bust that big heavy nut, you wiped out your life force. And especially when she swallowed that. And niggas be like, victory, victory. I came up, she swallowed the nut. But really, she powered up. And you transferred, you gave her some life force energy. But, you feel like you won. You won. I was the same way. I used to be the same way. Like, man, like, player shit. She swallowed the nut. What's up with it? BossMack Topsoil on here, putting some game in the air. I ran across a little something that I spoke on before, but I wanted to come back to it with a more vivid illustration of it. It's the white tigress. The white tigress. You understand me? White tigress Taoism. You know what I'm talking about? And I spoke on it before. It's like the other side of semen retention. It's like what semen retention protects you from type shit. So fuck with me on this. We got a bitch right here that is a practitioner, and it's not like a lot of information out here about this. But I'm gonna go through this. This is like this is gonna be a long piece, but I want to go through this and point out a few things and see if niggas get vibe with this. This is good game right here, man. I promise y'all. This is good game right here. Now let me get this up here for you. Hold on. All right, now this the bitch right here. And look at her. You know what I'm saying? She looks well preserved. Well preserved. And this practice right here, the white tigress practice, is bitches harvesting energy from niggas. Bitches harvesting energy from niggas, right? So let's go through this right here. Let's check this out. This the bitch.
Okay, welcome everybody. Hello, this is Ryan Orrock, and I'm very, very spoiled to be here with Safira today.
Nice to meet you.
Hello, Safira. Safira is a belly dancer. I just found out she's a writer, she's an astrologer, she's a model. Most important, not a model. Let me say that again. All right, start out.
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Yeah, all right. I've seen her model. I've seen her modeling. It's beautiful. Beautiful photos. Okay, she's a writer. She's a model and an astrologer and a dancer. And most importantly, for our purposes today, she is one of the lineage of the white tigress tradition.
Thank you very much for your hospitality in here. And if I can introduce you to this.
So basically, she already said she a stripper, an astrologer, basically like a witch type bitch.
But it has roots before Taoism. It is the female part, the female version of Taoism. And I have to say that most that we know nowadays in the mainstream of Taoism and yoga, it's all on the male path. The white tigress, it's a symbol that, like the dragon, it refers to the power of the feminine sexuality and life force. As there are two symbols very different, the dragon and the tigress, this means that the paths are different. And they can meet, like they can fuse at a certain time, but mainly the esoteric path is different for the dragon and for the tigress. At least for my experience, I found out that it is like that. The behavior of the white tigress is an esoteric path that, of course, it can be done in only a part of life, let's say like in the young age or for a few years, but it is an esoteric path. And if your goal is to become a master, is not compatible with family life.
No kids and shit.
Because, like monks, it requires a different way of living that you are supposed to have that is really not compatible with family life. White tigress is also, let's say, in a way, a monk, but the monk doesn't mean that there are sexual restrictions in the way that in the modern times we think, because sex is part of life.
The white tigress is a monk that does not have sexual restrictions. So the white tigress is a monk that's fucking.
But the white tigress, in the esoteric way, like the dragon, they use sexual energy to achieve immortality. Immortality, the longevity of the youthful state of the body, and the incarnation of in another, let's say, astral body after death, if it may occur, or even a master in this art can decide to transmigrate in the astral body, even if it's not the moment of death. So the main goal of this esoteric path is to keep the youthful state of the body, the mind, the spirit, and collect the most power and energy that it's possible to do, and transform it in spiritual force.
Collect the most energy that you can and transform it into spiritual force.
So if you have any question, we can go further.
Okay, yeah. There's a lot in there. Thank you so much. The first question is, when you say dragon, are you referring to men and male and the masculine when you say that?
Yeah, the male yoga part, which is the basically all the yoga that we know nowadays in the mainstream. It's basically on the male path. So
okay, yes. So you call that the dragon path?
Yeah, it is the dragon path. Yes.
Okay.
Of course, there are involved women, but because many don't know the existence of the female part.
Right. So why is it? I mean, okay, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, but I've been in the world of sacred sexuality and alternative sexuality for a very long time, and I've never met a white tigress before. So why is it so rare? Go ahead.
because the tradition is dying.
Right. And why?
Because they have made a choice centuries and decades ago, where they allowed the male part to be on the mainstream and to be divulgated, while the female counterpart has become a minority. Mainly, I think because, first of all, the women that do this kind of art, they don't want to talk because they were persecuted in Asia, first of all. And in the end, it becomes like some kind of forbidden art, because it is not beneficial to the standard life of people, because even in Asia, even if you go, except the really matriarchal societies, the rare ones, it's all based on the male power. And I don't mean just that the men are on the lead. I mean like really like electricity pole. They are polarized in the male side. So even if there are women, there are many women that go for meditation, for yoga and stuff like that. But most of them, first of all, they don't know the existence of the female yoga. And the ones that even that they know, they prefer to stay on the male path because they feel safer. While the white tigress also, it requires really a strong life choice that it's not easy to take. So I think these are the reasons. We have only one book talking about the white tigress, that it's from Tao Traditions by Xilai.
Introduction. White tigress is the name for a female who has undertaken disciplined sexual and spiritual practices for the purpose of restoring her beauty and youthfulness in order to realize her full feminine potential and the condition of an immortalist. The sexual teachings of the white tigress were initially developed in ancient China by female Taoists, and this book provides an overview of the fundamental transformational sex practices and philosophy of the white tigress, revealing the teachings a female would receive during her first 3 years of practice. The sexual teachings of the white tigress clarifies the historical context and Taoist developments of the white tigress methods, includes modern Western medical correlations to substantiate the tigress's beliefs and practices, and is framed in modern English perspective so it can better be evaluated and the validity and merit of the white tigress's philosophy determined. This volume can be viewed then as a philosophy book, a sex health medicine review, and a modern look at the sexual practices of the white tigress. They have one book. And you can get that on Amazon right here. This is that book right here, The Sexual Teachings. This is the white tigress. She practices the white tigress yoga, which she drains energy from men, and we'll see how she does that right here.
It's the only one, and then there are some articles here and there in English, of course, maybe in Chinese or in Russian or other Asian languages. We can find other documents, but we don't have much because they didn't want intentionally to divulgate this art. So I think these are the main reasons why this is happening.
It don't seem like
I get that.
It don't seem like a good thing. I can see why it's getting eradicated, but it's like a secret society of bitches out there that do this. There's a secret society of bitches out there that do this.
So the next question that comes up is, achieve immortality. You would think everyone would want to do that. So how does the path work? What do you have to do as a white tigress?
First of all, I have my doubts that everybody would like to achieve immortality, because I have been known like many people in the esoteric world from different backgrounds and traditions, and no, they most talk about transmigration of the soul. They talk about reincarnation in some sort, but actually there are not really many that want to work on the youthful state on the body. So what it requires to do is, first of all, and probably is where we all start and finish, because to find the second step, it's really some kind of a miracle. It is to keep the body in the youthful state. So this means that you need to put your biological clock backwards. And you must have physical results. How the white tigress does is through mainly sexual activity, but it's not with intercourse. At least it's really small part of it. And then we have some physical activity that can relate to yoga or acrobatics, as we can figure out, and dance, or martial arts, because it was really Taoism, of course, is really connected to martial arts. But I mean, it's not a must. The only thing that you really need to do is to have some kind of physical activity. If you integrated it in dance or martial arts, I find out in the end it's the same result. So this is what basically you have to do: collect energy and transform the energy. Another way to help your body is to use supplements, certain kind of supplements that are in Chinese medicine very famous, like the use of Angelica sinensis, that is called the female ginseng, but also ordinary Korean ginseng and American ginseng, and other herbs that they are really famous in the alternative medicine world. And of course, you can integrate with more like modern stuff that we have available nowadays, because they were using this kind of supplements because they didn't know other. So they work, but maybe the principle is the same. But the more we find out in the research, the more is available. So you need to keep your body youthful, otherwise you won't have the power to produce the astral child that you need.
I know that sound weird right there. Astral child. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to come back to many questions about that.
Yes.
But before I do, let me start out with, where are you from? What's your background? How did you get into this?
Look, my background is really varied. Let's say that since childhood, really early childhood, like I was like, my first memories are when I was 8 months old. So I had some kind of memory before birth, and I found myself later on like in many kind of, we have to say, paranormal activities, which for my family were not really ordinary stuff at all. And then, of course, I grew up Catholic, but I had an issue with the priest in my town, because let's say that I saw that they were putting the papers and documents like in a primary place, instead the real stuff, the real holy stuff that they had. So I left it. I never came back. And then I found myself in learning shamanism from especially one teacher. I don't have his permission, so I don't say the name.
She learned shamanism.
Uh, then I studied lots of exotic culture, but in everything that I was finding, there was always this polarity on the male side, which it is okay at a certain stage, but it was missing something. So it was happened one time that I found something because of a friend told me about Taoism, and he told me that, look, that there is something that maybe it is for you. And I started researching about the female part, and finally I found some information about the white tigress and the book of Xilai. Then, of course, I did more research. I did more research also from an astrology point of view, because astrology is a really wide subject. And then I decided to try to practice in real, to see what was happening. So basically, it is that whatever I was finding, it was missing something. And now with this path, I have what was missing.
She has what was missing.
And also, you're Italian?
Yes.
So born and raised in Italy?
No. I am Italian. Actually, I was living abroad. I was living in Iceland and Finland for a long time.
I know this is kind of long and drawn out, but I just want niggas to peep this, man. Just really peep this right here.
And Belgium. So, but I was living maybe for a period of about 1 year each time. But basically, of course, my nationality is Italian and my roots are here and everything is here. So of course, I learned things there. Of course, that I had my life experiences, but I cannot say that I'm not Italian, no.
Okay, and we're gonna get into the secrets of the chronology of all that. I think you said later, so we'll get back to that. Okay, so you mentioned an astral child. What is an astral child?
Astral child.
I know that sounds weird as fuck, but that is in the White Tigress book, the astral child. The astral child. I know that sounds crazy, but after the White Tigress collects energy from a certain amount of niggas, she's supposed to be able to pull off the creation of the astral child. I know this sounds crazy, but on the reverse side for men, when they do semen retention, they do the same thing, except for they raise up the seminal energy raises up and hits the brain. And then that's how the male creates a astral child on the Taoism side. See, this the other side of semen retention. Now, see the thing here that's fascinating that you get to know. The fascinating thing that you get to know is that niggas energy comes into niggas and niggas create energy. The energy comes into men. You feel me? Because we the closest to God, right? We the closest to God. Women have to get energy from us. You feel me? They had to get energy from us, and that is what this highlights.
Child is something that it's like to produce a child, like something external, like external body with the energy of the body. So it is sexual energy that can do this. It's the only life force that we have. And you need to transmutate the energy, the physical energy, into the spiritual energy. And this is very difficult. If the, like, let's say the practices are not working and you are not developing this, it won't happen. So when it happens, you realize, as they say, you realize it, and I think it's the only way you realize it, is that you feel, you even when you are in trance state, you can enter another body, and it is your body. So it's not that you have an astral child, like that you create another life in like independent life, but you use the sexual energy to create something that is spiritual. But it's something spiritual that can do like let's say poltergeist things, if we can say it like that. So and this body should take the form of a white tigress in the case of this female path, and dragon in the case of the male path. So this is it. And also what I can say, it should not be mistaken with the totem, because totem is totem, or like spirit helper, or whatever, how you want to call it. It is different. It's totally different thing. Tiger and dragon, they are major force. Let's say that they are like gods, that they teach you their ways. The totem is something that is with you. So it is similar, but it's not the same thing.
Okay, so the next question is, can anyone do this practice? Do you need some sort of special preparation?
No, not everybody can do this practice, because, as I said, it requires a really strong life choice. And it's not meant for everybody, like all esoteric paths are not meant for everybody. Let's say that for a period of life, if a woman, for example, also a man, needs to recover from something, or needs to feel strong again, let's say reborn from something, then it can be useful. But if they want to become masters, they have to give up like ordinary life. In a way that we think about ordinary life, I don't mean like they have to give up life and close themselves somewhere, you know, and be hermits. No, but most likely they cannot have like a stable couple with anybody. They cannot, let's say, give the hope on their hopes on another person, let's say like this. And also this about having kids, it's something really delicate subject to, you know, to talk about and to deal with in general in this case. So basically, you know, the white tigress is hunting male energy around, and it's not just because it's not socially accepted. It is because she cannot have control of a man. Okay. There are different kinds of tigresses, like how you deal with the path that they are, you know, famous in the
Hunting male energy. Hunting male energy.
in what we know about this tradition. Mainly it is a tigress that needs to work with the master. They work with the master, and she needs like the master to pick her partners for, let's say, these sexual activities. Another way to the tigress path is to
the master. So the white tigress has like a pimp, and he picks the male partners for her to get energy from.
to work with few chosen jade dragons, which they are basically partners that periodically they will work with the tigress. And one of the other ways is also the free tigress, the wandering tigress, that she must go and hunt herself, and
So it's different type of tigresses. It's one that has a pimp, right? That works with a master that picks out victims for her, right? And then there's the wandering tigress that's out there hunting down motherfuckers and getting energy from them. I think that's what she is.
And do this without any leashes, any attachment. I mean, like, without control, okay? She does her own control. So these are three, and maybe there are even more ways, but basically avoiding intercourse and do everything based on oral sex and physical activity is, I don't think it's for everybody.
So she's sucking dick and having her pussy ate. Sucking dick and having her pussy ate. Avoiding fucking.
Okay, so we have, you said there's 4 different types of tigresses, right?
Yes, and I've said about 3. I will say the first, if I recall, if I can remember correct, it is the one that work basically with only one dragon. So I think it can happen only with people that they want to become masters, and one follow the dragon path, the other one follows the tiger's path, and they work only between each other. So I think this is really rare to achieve, and it must not be mistaken with the ordinary couple that wants a family, because
Right.
they live their own things separate, and they meet for these things.
So were you initiated into this somehow? How did you just started trying it? Is that how it works?
Basically, I have to say that I thank very much the author of the book, Xilai, for his help, for his monitoring, even by distance, But the initiation in these things, especially when the traditions are dying, you cannot have it from other people unless you are really, 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 really lucky to meet somebody that had success and it's doing the same thing that you want to do. In my case, I can say that I had an initiation because during a ritual something happened. Something that I cannot talk about happened, and it was like a sign that was the right way and it was working, beside the physical results. But
in the book, Becoming an Immortalist, the physical goal of the tigress is first to recreate the sexual responses in her body that were initially developed during adolescence, which would aid in the development of her physical restoration. In doing this, she would retard the aging process. She then learns to develop her practice and experiences of absorption of male sexual energy, also referred to as absorbing the dragon's breath, for developing a state of hypersensitivity through intense sexual stimulation. Absorption is the ability to mentally and physically induce the energy of the male orgasm into herself, whereby she uses the masculine yang energy to both fortify and enhance her own feminine yin energy. It is her practice of absorbing the dragon's breath that leads to her spiritual goal of achieving illumination of the mind, which is the experience of seeing numerous small lantern-like lights swaying very gently inside her head. The tigress needs to experience this illumination 9 separate times in order to produce sufficient energy to create her virgin immortalist spiritual fetus, and for the sake of progress she attempts to bring about these 9 illuminations within a 3-year period. Let's continue back with what she was talking about.
So, yes. But if you have, if I would have to help somebody else for this, I will guide the person until I think that she might try to look for this kind of confirmation and see what's happening for this person, because something must happen, let's say, in the other world. And a dream is not enough. You must be awake. So I will do like this, and for everybody, things are different. So maybe to somebody, they can meet the white tigress in real, the goddess, and maybe another one, can have like, it can see materialized objects, or to hear something that is not there, but you're awake. But it has the sign of this, not just something random. So this is what I think, and I doubt that there are other ways.
So what kind of white tigress are you, actually?
Maybe it is a secret, but I think it's quite clear that I am a wandering one.
Okay. So do you have a jade dragon? Have you ever had a jade dragon?
Well, you have a jade dragon every time that you collect energy, but somebody that was in the path, no, but somebody that went on the dragon path afterwards, yes, but it doesn't match up the times, So no, for the moment, I think that I keep hunting like this.
I keep hunting like this.
Okay, so if I remember correctly, there's jade dragons, which are the men on the path, but there's another man that are kind of the energy sources. I don't remember if there's a different term for that, but if it's still jade dragon, yeah, you.
I think it's still jade dragon, because I think the difference is only that men offer their energy through oral sex, and some of them, they help the tigress with sexual intercourse, and it's not ordinary sexual intercourse. I mean, it is ordinary sexual intercourse, but not as they see it in the mainstream tantra.
Right, so not even tantric sexual intercourse.
It is yes and no. Something that they say that you must do, the tigress must not do. So, hey, sorry, yes. So this is also one of the reasons
How many of
why
y'all?
I think maybe
How many of y'all niggas out there fuck with a bitch that just you regulated to eating pussy though? You know what I'm saying?
male gurus in Asia, you know, and India, they avoided to divulgate this kind of art.
Right.
Because it's not beneficial to men. It doesn't do any harm, especially to the ordinary man. But it's not beneficial to men like the one that they are teaching.
Right.
The opposite of semen retention is what she practiced. If you practice semen retention, you can avoid this.
Okay. So they don't divulge that. I understand.
Let's say that the tiger could have another stereotype like the virgin.
Yeah.
So it's not really the one that they talk about in Tantra. You know, it's not really a virgin type of woman.
So the tigress is a virgin, or what did you say? Okay, explain.
It's in a way that is a virgin, yes. The mind state and what they have to achieve is to go back to, let's say, teenager times, if they can. That's why normally they should start within 30 years old. It's not because after 30 years it's not possible. It is possible, but it becomes really much harder to go with the clock, let's say, backwards. And maybe also your life, you know, pushed you in a way that it's also difficult for the mind state, not only physical, but only for the mind. So yes, one of the statements is the tiger is kind of a, let's say, virgin, unmarried, and we don't say virgin that she doesn't have sex. She can have, like the teenagers do, like the first times, you know. So, and actually also it can recall to other older pre-Christian traditions that were calling these free women the virgins. It didn't mean that they didn't have sex. It meant that they were unmarried and you could not have them. So yes, that's another stereotype of the tiger. It's not really the one that the typical woman of the tantric experiences, you know. So one that she don't know what she's doing, it's not possible. Okay, your turn.
Okay. So lots of people do oral sex all the time. Was there anything different between how they do it and how the white tigress does it?
There are some differences because you have to keep some kind of control. You need to learn some techniques, and of course, for a woman, it's more beneficial to do that than intercourse. But if she's not aware of that, it's no use, you know.
She gotta drink the babies.
It's like to say, yes, salad is.
She gotta drink the babies. She gotta drink the babies. She gotta drink the babies.
Very healthy to eat, but if the person don't know, you know, it doesn't help. So then there are some things that you must do during this practice, and the person that has it, it's very difficult that they realize something is happening, but sometimes they do. So sometimes they wonder something is happening, but it's not like all the time.
So the receiver, the dragon, may or may not be aware of what's happening in the process, is what you're saying.
Normally they are not aware of what's happening, but some of them realize something is happening, but they don't know what is happening.
So some of the niggas realize that they are being drained and some don't realize that they're being drained. But let's be real, like after you bust that big heavy nut, you wiped out your life force. And especially when she swallowed that. And niggas be like, victory, victory. I came up, she swallowed the nut. But really, she powered up. And you transferred, you gave her some life force energy. But, you feel like you won. You won. I was the same way. I used to be the same way. Like, man, like, player shit. She swallowed the nut. But she powered up. I used to have bitches who just came over to the crib to do that, to just suck dick and leave, drink the babies and leave. And I was like, that's player shit. Player. Not even fucking a lot of times. Just drink the babies. She just drink the babies. I'm just saying, man. Hey. Hey, man, I came up the same way everybody else.
Right. So you don't need a special man for this.
It would be nice to have, but as I was talking to you yesterday, it's something like hard, if not impossible, to achieve, because or they are in the dragon path, or especially in the West, people don't have this respect, let's say, for esotericism, So even if you are burning incenses, or if you are doing this, the person, normally the partner wants, to become part of your life, and decide things with you, which is also one of the reasons why it's very dangerous to say dangerous. I say it like this. Of course, it's not dangerous to say what you are doing. It would be nice, and sometimes it's nice to let them know something is happening, and maybe explain them later on if they are interested, or if they, they start to have this kind of doubts and feelings that, you are doing something different,
She is stealing energy in a sneaky way. Think about that. She's stealing energy in a sneaky way. A lot of you niggas is just y'all be jumping up and down for the one night stand. Y'all would take this bitch down immediately off of Tinder, whatever the dating sites is. Immediately taking this bitch down. You know what I'm saying? With no hesitation. No disrespect to this bitch either, because I fuck with her for giving up, for putting this game out there. Even though niggas is probably listening to this and like, BossMack got some bullshit on here. This is just like a special segment, man, of enlightenment, man. I want niggas to really think about this right here, bro. Like,
so it is possible, but I wouldn't advise to point on that.
So does that mean, so when you talk about hunting, this sounds really funny. I have this vision of you like going out to a bar and, I'm thinking of vampires kind of a little bit, like I'm going to suck your blood. Actually, I know some real vampires, so I know that people who do this, right?
Okay, this I mean. Okay, no, I'm not. This somebody we see this interview, so to say, no, I know one vampire only, and that's Don Henry. So, but it's a guy, so maybe it's different.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's all sorts of crazy things out there, but I picture you going by these singles bars and then just flirting with men, and then they go in the bathroom, or you take them home, or like I'm just wondering what the hunt looks like. I'm sure other people would be too.
In this, I think time place and situation changes the rules of the game. Let's say like this. Nowadays, I don't know if I would do something like that. But in the ancient times, they were doing exactly like this, going around and chasing guys, especially young guys, and they were chasing monks.
Chasing young guys and monks. Monks meaning motherfuckers that was supposed to be sexual abstinence, so they going for maximum energy. You know what I'm saying?
Nowadays, I think with technology and with internet, it is easier. In a way, it is easier, but I don't think it is easy at all. So yeah, basically we behave like vampires, yes. It is actually, it's one of the things that Taoist masters on the Dragon Path say, that the Tigress path is the they have a vampire way of doing, and they find this disgraceful. Okay.
She say the Taoists.
Vampire.
She say the Taoists be on some vampire shit. The Taoists be on some vampire shit. Why can't she be on some vampire shit? Now, I have not exactly studied what the Taoists do. You know what I'm saying? I haven't studied the sexual Taoism.
Actions, but in a different way. So, you know, they say it's wrong, but then there's no point to be in a path that requires sexual activity, you know. So if you need to collect energy, you need to collect energy. You cannot produce energy by yourself. You are not a central, you know, power central. You're not this kind of thing. So
you heard what she said right there? If you need to collect energy, you need to collect energy. If you need to collect let me play that again. 35.
Central, you know, power central. You have no point to be in a path that requires sexual activity, you know. So if you need to collect energy, you need to collect energy. You cannot produce energy by yourself. You are not a central, you know, power central. You are not this
Men produce energy. Men produce energy.
Kind of thing. So you need to collect from others to produce the electricity. That's why you cannot do it all by yourself.
So you can't so it's impossible to just meditate or dance or something to have the energy yourself or supplement.
You can have, you know, you can have help from other realms that can help you, but basically you need the opposite part, because otherwise electricity doesn't come. I know that I think Mantiak Chia was saying that it's possible to do by yourself. I don't say it is impossible at all, but I think you are gonna miss something. It's like if you get a cake, you need a full cake. One little piece in the corner is missing, you know, and you don't have the full cake. It looks full, but you don't have it. So I think basically you need to do this one way or another.
So how intensively, how often do you have to do this? Does this mean like every night you've got this ritual, or twice a day, or once a week, or what is this like?
Look, normally it will be as often as possible.
As often as possible.
But logically, this is completely impossible.
As often as possible.
So sometimes you manage to do this 4, 5, 6, 7 times a month, 10 times. Other times it's nothing. So it's like the tiger in the nature. Sometimes she get a big prey, sometimes she get many little preys, and sometimes she's hungry. So there are no rules of that. That's why in one the target works with the periodical jade dragons. If she can trust these jade dragons and they are loyal, it's easier in that case.
If they loyal, that means you are willingly on the team as a side nigga. Even though you know she got a main nigga, you happy as the side nigga and can't wait to get your turn, willingly giving up the energy. You know what I'm saying? You know, willingly giving up the energy. You know.
Because periodically they know that they have to do this. But otherwise you are all by yourself. You can starve. Yes, you can starve. And when you starve, you start to have physical problems.
Wow.
So yeah, it's a risk. You take the risk.
Okay, so, and this has to be physical, right? You can't just transfer energy over space or through meditation or anything?
I think as we are in flesh and blood, and this path as the goal of physical restoration, it's not possible. Unless you have the luck to meet a god or a goddess. Then maybe they can do this kind of stuff, you know? But between humans, no.
She gotta suck your
So it
dick.
requires physical contact, physical exchange
She
of.
gotta suck your dick.
So basically, you somehow, if I'm understanding, you awaken energy
Semen.
in the fluid, and then you exchange the fluid or receive the fluid. Is that how it works?
The fluid as the energy that you need in this case.
Okay, so people talk about that, and I've heard about, you know, vitamins, minerals, whatever.
Can be part of it, but I think there is something else that maybe it's encoded in the DNA, because I think that's the more realistic option.
Semen, man.
But it's
Come
not just
on,
minerals and
man.
vitamins. It's something else.
It's beyond. It's a life force.
And you kind of have to cultivate it or foster it or whatever.
It's
through
your
the
life
process.
force.
No, it is really fast.
Oh, it's really
fast.
it's really
Yeah.
fast.
The energy
Yeah, it
transfer
goes
quickly.
as soon as you have it, as soon as you drink it.
As soon as you drink
It
it.
is in,
As
let's say,
soon-
maximum half an hour, 1 hour
As
time
soon
you
as you
need to
drink
transform
it.
this.
Okay, so can we talk about this? Can I ask details here? Questions.
You can try.
So, but when you, like I said, if this is so powerful, like, what is the difference? Other people, other women, other men, they have sex, oral sex often, and, you know, porn stars, whatever, but they don't have the necessarily all of the benefits, right?
They don't know.
They may have, we don't know, because we should
Don't.
see the you know, each case, what is going on, you know. But no, it's not just this, because you need to transform the energy that the power that you get, you must transform it. It's not just that I drink this and directly it works. No.
So you transform after ingesting, is what you're saying?
Yes. Yeah.
And do you need to transform it before it's released as well? No, doesn't matter.
Before? What do you mean before?
So like, so So it doesn't need to be special semen or anything, right?
Not with colors.
What?
No, I was
No,
joking. I
with
said
colors, yeah.
no. Before it's not possible because it needs to have. It's not the fluid itself. It's the fluid in the contact with your body, and then when there is this, let's say, polarity meet, from that you have what you need. It is not just from the fluid. If you find another source, you go for the other source. That's why they were using supplements, because supplements, you can avoid to, let's say that you need less praise with supplements.
The polarity of the nut, soon as it touches her, soon as the nut touches her,
Than without supplements. So it is one way, but basically what you need is, let's say, the match of the polarities, not just one.
So the polarity of the dragon has to match? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, let's say like the fluid is the positive energy, let's say like this.
Yeah.
It has to have contact with the negative energy of the body of the tigress.
negative energy
Must be transformed in physical restoration and spiritual energy.
Okay.
So it's not just the fluid itself.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Okay, so there you're getting back to the tantric stuff and the Montauk Chia stuff that I'm familiar with. You talk about the polarities and the woman having the plus pole in the heart and the no.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it is all this practice have, basically the same root. But the fluid itself, it's not working, So I mean, like, it's like to say, like a woman for a man is the way to achieve immortality. No, because if this, there is no contact or anything, doesn't help, So it's the same thing. It's what's happening between the two forces that creates, let's say, okay, let's make it simple in biology. When the egg gets fertilized, that's when the life is born. Not just because there is an egg or sperm that you have this. It's the meat of them that creates the life. Mm-hmm. So that's basically what's happening in this sexual practice. It's to get similar to this, but not that, because that is other thing.
Okay. And is that the main practice? Is that what you do for this, or what else do you have to do?
What do you mean?
So we have these sexual practices, these oral sexual practices. The woman is receiving, the man is.
Let's say that this is one of the main parts, but it's not only, because as I said before, there are other activities to do at the same time, like it can be through dance, it can be martial arts, it can be physical exercises. You need to have, as I said, your body as maximum, as when you have to think that you need to become.
I hope y'all receiving this game, man. I know this is different from what the BossMack usually put out there, but I just wanted you to hear a bit, really just let you know. You understand me? I want niggas to really contemplate. You feel me? And once again, the BossMack is really a prophet. You feel me? Meaning, the Most High God make me put the game out there, man. You know what I'm saying? And, he make me put the game out there. And it's on y'all that, I'm good as long as I put the game out there.
Strong when you were 15. You understand? So it's not enough to do this. It's the basic, yes. And then also from my side, but I think it's not only just for me. There are something like rituals of connections with this goddess. For the Chinese, is the white tigress. For others, it may have another name, but the characteristics are the same. And what gives you, what you see in your life, what manifests, it is the same. So I think this is also something that helps a lot, but not without the practice of physical stuff.
Okay. So if someone is interested in this, do they just contact you, or how do they proceed down the path? Read the book, just follow the book?
They can contact me, of course. Reading the book of Xilai is very helpful, but I've seen around very strange things, and also like advice is missing many details, and I see this how we call this pollution of the dragon path in this big here and there, which is not really helpful. So I would be glad if somebody's interested to learn and to start without also taking major health risks, because some things you need to follow with the doctor, and maybe even more than one.
White Tigress philosophy goes to the very heart and origin of a woman's sexuality and spirituality. The contents are challenging, to say the least, but there is no escaping the fact that no matter what your sexual preference is, from sexual obsession to complete abstinence, sex is aging you. Sex is like a drug. Abusing it withers and destroys you, while using it correctly restores and preserves you. The Tigress focuses on using it correctly as a medicine. The Tigress views sex just as someone would view seeking out a profession, which means setting aside time for learning that profession. Her practices are not merely exercises in sexual prowess or to attain a goal of becoming beautiful. Rather, and more important, she becomes a tigress so that she can truly know herself and apply her newfound energy and confidence to any task she may embark upon. The majority of us have no idea how powerful and positive sex can be, especially if we learn to harness and direct it. Sex to the Tigress is a discipline in overcoming her greatest enemy, her own self. Many people may not agree with the methods of the White Tigress, but it is an undeniable fact that sexual energy is the reason we were born, and it is the reason we age and die. The White Tigress lifts the dark veil of sexual conformity.